And Joy, let me begin with you in this stark contrast we have once again on this time, the issue of the day, the issue of the week in Minneapolis, this stark contrast between the two presidential candidates, Donald Trump and Joe Biden.
Yeah, and you know what was interesting about watching Joe Biden, who, by the way, is at his best when he is talking about loss. It's something that he has felt, and you've interviewed him on this. He feels loss so personally and so deeply because he lost so much at such a young age, losing his wife and his daughter, and then raising his two boys, and he gets married again, and then the older son grows up and then passes away of cancer. So he has felt loss. The best Joe Biden is the Joe Biden who's grieving with other people. So to watch him perform what is really the ceremonial job of the president, right? The president has certain powers, but the real power that he has is to speak to us in times of pain. Bill Clinton did it. Ronald Reagan did it. You know, I'm quite sure even Richard Nixon could accomplish it in a way that Donald Trump just can't. Because Donald Trump can't access that thing, that empathy, the thing that you need to have in you in order to grieve with us or in order to feel our pain. What Donald Trump did instead is he essentially challenged sort of a George Wallace. There's a guy named Walter Headley who was the police chief in Miami, in the city of Miami, for 20 years. And in 1967, he said, when the looting starts, the shooting starts. He was one of the most violent police chiefs in America. He was a Bull Connor. That's who Donald Trump relates to. That's who he speaks like. He speaks like George Wallace. So you could not have a starker contrast between Joe Biden, who, say whatever you want about, you know, are his political skills perfect? No, but he is an empathetic man. And he's a decent man, and he's a good man. And for all of whatever little gaffes he may make around, around his campaign, he's a good guy. And Donald Trump is not a good guy. He's not an empathetic man, and so he can't evince what he doesn't have.